And the question I have for maybe the whole panel here, but specifically for you, do you believe that code switching is essential for survival, or if not for survival, for a sort of happy and collaborative society?
You guys go ahead. I've been doing all the talking. Go ahead.
Well, I have one thing to comment, but then I want Dominic, you can go, because it's so interesting that Chris mentioned code switching.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got a couple of reasons why. Some we'll find out later, but today I asked a question to ChatGPT. Okay. The question itself doesn't matter. It responded to me. It said, yeah, you want to blah, 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 blah. And, it caught me off guard. So I typed and I said, please explain to me the basis upon which you decided to start your response with the word yeah in lieu of the word yes. And it said that it wanted to have a more conversational tone, and it thought that it was basically showing an example of code switching in order to make the conversation more light. And if it were my preference for it to be more formal, then it could do so. I said no.
That's incredible.
I said no, I have no preference. The basis for your word choice is sound. So you're asking this question about code switching, and you got an AI chat bot over here code switching. What?
It's part of the answer, maybe. I don't know, Dominic. What do you think?
You want to go? Did you want to go, Papa Bro?
No.
So it's really interesting that you said that, because this book, which has become everything, James, it's about code switching. Mm-hmm. It's the retelling of the Mark Twain Huckleberry Finn story. Mm-hmm. And he's called James because James speaks like I do right now when he's talking to everybody. When he's talking about, master, I was down over by the house and they told me I shouldn't go in there. So I said, all right, I'm not going to do that. You know how we are. I'm sorry, you know how he is. I mean, and they actually told people, you don't talk to the master like you gotta say like, always let the master know that he knows best, and never use the right language. And the whole thing is about code switching. The whole thing is about get that checked over there on yonder, or bring it over here right now. And he does both. So James code switches throughout the entire movie. I mean, the entire book. And there's one he comes across as this acting company, and they powder his face up, make him white. And of course he sounds fine because he can do white people. It's so subversive, but it's all about code switching. I thought that you heard the book. That's why you were asking this.
Yeah. Look at that. It's just, Chris, if I may,
Yep, please.
I gotta do a little something here.
Okay.
And it's it as CC, but other people might know it as culture check. All right.
That was really a surprise. That was a surprise because I just said we were going to do audience polls, but we're not. We are going to drop into a culture check right now.
No, right now we got to drop into a culture check because this the timing of things. This is the universe. It just works itself out, and it brings the transition for me. So
I'm going to need some more liquor for.
Yeah, man, you better take a sip. Yeah. So when Dominic Hoffman played a character named Thaddeus Jameson White, and this character was on a show called Hangin With Mr. Cooper.
Yep.
And Thaddeus Jameson White was known to Mr. Cooper as Whitey. So why was Thaddeus Jameson White known as Whitey? Well, one could say, I think that in that cast of characters, he was the most light-skinned of the brown folks who were there. And Thaddeus Jameson White talked like me. Okay, so Thaddeus Jameson White, a.k.a. Whitey, was the he felt the brunt of, or he was the butt of several jokes that suggested that he wasn't black enough. And I've been watching this show with my kids recently. Like, I go through all these shows. My kids watch the shows that I watched. Okay. So we've watched A Different World. We're watching Cosby Show. We're watching Hanging with Mr. Cooper. And as an adult, I'm watching this and I see it a little bit differently than I did when I was younger. Because now I question, right? I'm like, should they have been doing that? Should they have been making fun of Whitey because he was light-skinned and he had near perfect, if not perfect, diction? Right? And I think about that. I was like, should we have been doing that? Now, this is the current me, right? This is the adult me. When I was a kid, I loved it. Right? And let me tell you why I loved it. I didn't love it because Whitey was getting teased. I loved it because I was Whitey. Kids in my school, the white kids, right, would always say to me, "Hey, Nick, like, why don't you act black?" I'm like, I don't even know what you mean. Like, what are you talking about? They would point to some other kid walking down the hall and be like that. Like, you don't act black and you don't talk black. I said, wait a second. So what is black? Like, now I'm confused. Right now. Right. So, and it used to make me think, I say, oh, so I must not be black then. So what is black? So it always made me have that feeling. And Chris, you and I have talked about it. I was like, for the longest time, I didn't associate with the term, right? I was like, then I'm not black. I'm African-American, right? But I'm not black because I'm not that thing that they associate with what I'm not. So when I got to see this, and again, every episode he was on, Cooper with Whitey, he just loved calling him Whitey because he just wasn't black enough. And to my white friends, right, I wasn't black enough. To my black friends, I wasn't black enough. So I was like, go ahead, Whitey. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Thaddeus Jameson White. Stand up for yourself. Be who you are. And he can tell all the jokes that he wants to tell, but you are like, he stood up straight, right? He had good posture. He spoke well. He dressed well. And he was not ashamed of who he was. So I'm just telling you, I love that because I saw myself in that character.
You saved Nick's life, as it turns out.
I would be lying if I didn't say that wasn't a problematic part for me.
I knew it. That's why I brought it up. I knew it. But go ahead. I won't.
Yeah, how'd you get over it?
No,
How'd you work it out?
I forgot his name. Who's the guy? The
Cooper.
Who played Mr. Cooper? What's his name?
You got to be blanking on it right now. I got to look
him up. Me too. Anyway,
Bear's got it.
Nice cat. Nice cat.
Yep. And he's still doing comedy, by the way. Mark Curry.
Mark Curry, brother Mark.
Oh, I know Mark Curry. Yeah.
So that came over. I was a one-off. I was supposed to just come on for one scene. And, the comedians, like I did, Jamie Foxx show,
Yep.
When they take off, man, you're in a scene, you're rehearsing, you got some lines, but, they're the stars, so they can get to do what they want. I remember. So he started calling me Whitey, and everybody started laughing. He said, okay, we're going to use that, Yep. It's like when I was doing the Jamie Foxx show, I'm doing it, and this was not his line. This is some shit he made up, but it was funny as hell. He goes, oh, I didn't know that the Barges were having a family reunion. That's a great line.
Shout out to Elder Barge.
Yeah.
Oh, we love them. Yeah, we love the Barge.
Yep.
But yeah, it's funny. I don't remember speaking about Hanging with Mr. Cooper or Thaddeus White in 30 years, because that's the last time it was on, or 25
that's right.
years.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
it's
man.
Interesting that so you put that in the backseat of your life.
All way. That stuff. That was a very, I'm very present. I try to be. Saves my life.
But is that because that helps you do the art or art that you're proud of? Or is it because there's too much baggage there? Are there wounds there? Is there a nostalgic wound there from the past?
No. just interest, that's not what an area of interest I have, we all have interests, I mean, I'm sure there's a whole bunch of stuff you did 10 years ago that, you're like, oh yeah, that's cool. Next,